not bad. It's good. Feels right. The lighting always seems to work out better once the edible kicks in.
Yeah, man. Dude, I like that hat.
Yeah, hoodoo. That's
Hoodoo.
that's the
Hat.
mountain I've been skiing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Last week I skied 3 days, and I'm gonna ski three either this week or the fall. I think I'll ski the following week, another three in a row,
All right. Right
because
on.
it's as I got to rent skis because my so it provides a better value to do consecutive days than to have to go and rent the fucking shit.
Right.
so you rent the skis and keep them for a week?
Yeah, and yeah, I need boots. I got a set when GI Joe's went out of business. It was like a big sporting good outlet. You guys heard of it, right? GI Joe's.
Yeah.
Yeah, National.
Navy surplus and sporting goods.
Yeah, and they went out of business, and I went in and they were like, everything was like 75% off. I got rental skis that were brand new and a punching bag. I got all kinds of shit. I don't have the punching bag anymore because when I would go down there and I would hit it in anger. I didn't usually go down the train, but I would just go down and take it out on the bag, and it would rattle the house. So it kind of defeated the purpose to go down and slug the bag because it shook the house and made it look like. Are you all right? Yeah, yeah. That bag took a fucking beating though, because it wouldn't leave me alone.
All the plates fell out of the cupboards.
Yeah.
Literally shaking the foundations of your relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to have them things
With
properly
your
mounted.
house.
You got to have your everything properly mounted before you go punching it.
Yeah, don't they usually have a spring or something to kind of absorb it so that it doesn't go up into your rafters?
Yeah. Yeah. I had a lot of weight on a thing. I'm surprised it didn't damage something. And I took it back. That's the thing. You can always get rid of a punching bag. Somebody else will take it right in. Somebody else will fucking think it's the sweetest, most lovable thing ever. To you, it's just a fucking punching bag. I had a shitty one too. It was if you punched it in the wrong location, it was like fucking cement.
It would scream.
Yeah, no. I was fucking.
You would get a black eye.
The weight in it was all fucked up.
Call the police.
I would never do that.
Punching bag keeps running into the door.
Yeah.
I was a punching bag. I grew up a punching bag. My brothers like to throw shit at me and punch. Sucker punch.
Wow.
That was my brother Jeff was a sucker. I started to talk about him, and he's just spiteful enough to listen to the podcast just to see if I say anything negative about him. So I should have waited to talk negative about Jeff here. But he's in
Because he'd never pay.
Yeah.
And he's in the hospital, and I know. Well, he's in a nursing home now. He's because he's having trouble with his foot and recovering, and he wants me to call him, and I don't want to call him because he bums me out, and then he's got all these health problems. So I want to call him and just say, look, man, let's just skip the health problems. I've got a pretty good read on those from talking to my other brothers. So I got it. How about let's do a Q&A? I got 3 quick questions. Or what, something like that. But he'll just want to go, oh, so woe is me. This is, bummer. And, and it's like, just, can we, I don't know, man, can I send a card? Thinking of you, bro. Thinking of you, but not wanting to call you.
You think if you asked him the nose butt question in the middle of it, he'd hang up on you and you wouldn't have to deal with it anymore?
Yeah. Are you going to get to ask 3 questions, or do we get to ask 3 questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to play the nasty games, Jeff? Remember that? Yeah, I don't know. But it's like just because I was like brothers with him doesn't mean I got to stay in touch with him, does it?
Well, I think he lost that privilege by abusing you your entire life. I mean, and not to let him off the hook, but it is tough to be the 4th brother. So he's been getting picked on his whole fucking life. and then he finally has a little brother,
Mhm.
and then he just pours that all onto his little brother. That's you. So it's a bad setup, especially if you're basically
I did
allowed to just run roughshod over the fucking neighborhood,
I did the
then
right thing
it's just gonna
when
get out of hand for sure.
when we were in California and that kid, we were watching these kids empty a fountain, and we were basically we were going, wow, I didn't know you could reach down and take them coins. So we were gonna just get in on the scam, and they didn't like us looking at them, and then they went after us and chased us and got to my brother Jeff, and I just kept running. Like that snow shoveling thing when people were talking about that. I'm the husband running into the house with my brother Jeff, but he got like I think we had ice cream cones and there was and his got dumped and I took off and I remember eating my ice cream cone, wondering if my brother was okay and come out later and
You
he got
bailed
roughed
out
up.
on him?
Yeah, I took off running, but he would have done the same thing to me. It's just they caught him. But so I was but I'm not, I'm the little brother, so I'm not supposed to defend the big brother. I'm supposed to run and defend myself, which I did. And I didn't see throwing away the ice cream cone when I didn't know what was going on.
You don't need to be rash.
I mean,
Yeah, I remember him saying something about that. Yeah, it looks like
the clock is
held on
ticking
your
on
ice cream or something.
on that
Like,
double
you know
scoop
what?
on a sugar cone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like let's not pile, he lost his ice cream cone and got punched in the face. And why should I compile that by losing my ice cream cone?
Right.
Didn't make sense to me. It was a hot day. I felt good. I feel good about that in the history of it because he's he fucking wrote his name on my baseball mitt. He took my clothes to school and made them stink and then put them back in my closet. So when I wore them to school, people thought I stunk. Yeah.
But
That wasn't
couldn't
me.
you tell they stunk when you grabbed them out of your closet?
Grab on something, put it on, and then eventually during the day, you're like, Jesus, what the fuck? Because my brother Jeff has one of my friends when we'd play basketball, he called it the sixth man, and I don't know if that was a phrase that had been going on at the time, but my brother's stink was the sixth, like an invisible barrier that you wouldn't guard.
A sixth defender on the court.
There's another player.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's offense. Oh,
And he was offensive, all right. And I just had to play against him all the time. I didn't, I wasn't able to give him shit about his body odor, because if I would have, I could have done the same shit he done to me and chipped away at him psychologically. Like, why don't you go put some deodorant on after I kick your ass or something?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, this is your time to shine, though, honestly. I mean, you grow up the fifth of five boys in a family, you're going to be taking it fucking hard the entire time. But now that you're all old, you're the healthy one. Jeff's losing a foot.
Oh, I know.
Larry can't walk more than 5 steps. Your brother needs your help on sheetrock. Dude, you got all the leverage right now, dude. You're
decathlon. Are you saying a family decathlon to see who's the better person?
I don't think you're going to need to go as high as a decathlon.
Yeah. Well, it's another thing we got. Those, I think it was Sears, like did the NFL stuff, or one of the catalogs you could get all the NFL cheap shit gear, and we got mittens,
like the licensed gear.
Yeah, we get mittens, and they were just thin fucking, not even ski worthy mittens, and we boxed with those. And so like a friend would ring a bell, or one of us would ring the Fisher Price schoolhouse bell, ding, and then we'd go at it. And those are basically just wrapping your fist with tape.
Yeah, it's keeping your skin from tearing.
And we weren't supposed to punch in the face, but that's how every fight ended. Technical, like I don't think I should have kept stats on it, because I think my brother Jeff suffered a lot of TK. He got disqualified a lot. That's how he would have got DQ'd every fight, because the rules were no punching in the face, and then he would punch me in the face, and then I would swing wildly and try to punch him in the face, and but he would have, I don't think he'd won a match because he was a fucking cheater. That's what. And then another stupid game we do was blind man, whatever. Basically, you walk around in a sheet, and then the other guys would hit you with a wiffle bat.
That's not a game.
Yeah, I know. What a
That's
fucking.
not a game.
And I was the only
Blind
one
man
who
beat
knows.
down. What the
Yeah.
fuck is the name
And
of
you
this?
were always
game?
the one in the sheet.
Yeah, blind
Yeah.
man, and there was no bluff involved because it was just just they would hit me with bats, and then I would try to
Yeah.
catch one of them, which I don't ever remember doing, or anyone else being the ghost. So maybe I would just take a beating.
Didn't you ask him why you're always the ghost?
Yeah.
It would start out that way, and I would get mad and quit. That's how a lot of shit. I never lost a game of Monopoly because I would overturn the board. As you know, because my brother
never
Jeff would talk
completed
too
one.
much. You know, oh great, I'm staying in your hotel and it's $800. Earthquake, faggot. Game over. And then I would run and skulk up to my room and bang my pillows around. It's,
Yeah.
Glad
No
you
one's
said
ever
around.
finished a game of Monopoly anyway.
yeah. Yeah, what a fucking dumb game. Fucking taxes bullshit. I ain't paying them.
Yeah.
Hey, what was the name of the ghost game you guys played? Do you have a name for it?
I think it was,
Hitting Andy.
well, we call it blind man's bluff, but I don't know that I since learned other, there are different versions of it that don't involve wiffle bat beatings.
Yeah.
And then
And
I
no,
mean,
no
the class
assault.
I remember was running through the room while and then my brother would throw bean bags at me and I would try to get across. So basically I'd get all you'd have to do is just wait till I almost got to the wall and throw hard, I'd always get hit in the face. Everything ended with me crying and fucking, I had a lot of inner rage. I do remember the red hotness of losing and fucking getting fucking all just angry at that shit, like not even embarrassment, just red face with rage and fucking crying and shit. God damn it. I want them wins. I need those wins now. I was what you call a sore loser. That's what my mom said. You're just, a bad sport. Don't be a bad sport. But she didn't compete with that
Yeah.
asshole.
But she know
That's
the
not
game
good.
we were playing?
She didn't know what was going on. She just seen me
Yeah.
come down and complain about the rules.
Yeah. I mean, if as a parent, if you see that one of your children is 0-86 in the sport they're playing with another one of the children, you need to step in as commissioner of the league and maybe look at the rule book, maybe try to get some equity.
I should have got extra bats.
You should have gotten the
They had a
first
pitch
draft
hit,
pick
the
of
pitch
next
hitter rule. I should have
season.
I love that like mom never even dug deep enough to go, what game are you playing? It was always like, now Andy, you got to control your temper and you should stop being a sore loser. We've talked about this. It's like, but mom, we're playing mumbly pegs with a knife.
Yeah.
They're holding my
Andy-
hand down.
Andy tries to tell and just gets in trouble. You've got shit on your nose. Go wash your face.
Yeah.
Well, my mom would direct me to go run around the house and count how many times I could do it, and about 40. I do about 40. Counting.
40.
Why do you just do one and then say 40?
Well, I took her, I wanted to see, but that was how she would direct me, was go run around the house. I'll see how many times you could do
Oh
it.
yeah, that was classic. You'd always get somebody to do something for you by timing them. You wanted somebody to go get something for you. Like, oh, go get my bite.
Somebody should walk around with a kid,
Go.
like a fake kid in public, and go, all right, 1, 2, and when I get, and then 3, and then just go off on them. You couldn't do it, because every kid watches that, and every parent's bluffing. There's never a 3, or 3 doesn't mean anything. 1, if I get to 3, and then, let's just just shake the shit out of one of them. Yeah, this is what 3 feels like, you little fucker. Just to scare the other one straight. That's all.
Wait, I got the shit beat out of me if they made it to 3.
Right. Yeah, Chad had to go pick out his own fucking big giant stick to beat him with. Go get it. No, that's a small one, Chad. Go get a plywood, something made of plywood. Yeah, I think my dad was, I think he would have been more physical with the kid, I don't think he was abusive, but he took some cheap shots at the kids. But when I was, he was in a wheelchair from the time I was about a fourth grader. So it's like we found a common ground, which was 3 steps up, and I would, he wanted me to come down one time so he could shake me around or whatever, and I was like, oh man, and I retreated to my upstairs lair, played some fucking Cheap Trick on my ghetto blaster.
Safe.
Yeah. Now, at that time, it was Sean Cassidy on an 8-track. But I do ran up to my room like a pussy.
Oh, fuck you, dude. Oh, fuck.
That's his only hit, too.
Yeah. I love it that you could defeat your dad with 2 steps,
Yeah.
Any rise or any sort of lift that wasn't a ramp.
He could have done a leg sweep, or with his, he could have knocked me off of from about 3 steps. He still could have reached us.
And he needed that get back whip.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Some ninja rocks.
Yeah. He just fucking chuck it. God damn it. Dad. Yeah. Oh, Dad. God damn it. I told you with the ninja rocks enough.
I know they're doing.
He's in his room playing with his man in just glass showers over the top of him. His dad's hucking ninja rocks from downside.
I know my dad liked the original Enforcer show, which they're redoing with Queen Latifah. But how about a reboot with a wheelchair, where he just throws the get back whips and fucking ninja rocks around and shit. Wheelchair vigilante. I feel like we need to reboot the Chuck Bronson movies. God damn it. He had some good shit. Chuck Bronson Day. He would have. That's like, if I was Chuck Bronson, I wouldn't, like, the people who stole from my car, they would come over once a week and give me stuff so I wouldn't beat their ass if I had a little Chuck Bronson in me. He didn't take fucking crime sitting down, that guy.
No. He was a man of action, that's for sure.
When he made love to a woman on screen, it felt clumsy and awkward, like I think a lot of times it is.
Yeah. They just went with the first take every time.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah,
he captured it.
He probably rubbed them up. Kiss too hard, Charles. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you got to get the first take. That's my mom's favorite actor. I don't know what that says about my mom.
Oh, wow.
Charles Bronson?
Yeah, she loves fucking shoot 'em up movies. That's shit.
Huh.
Those were popular. I like some of them, along with what's that karate guy, Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
He's got some from the same time frame, same fucking movies, just different dude. I like some of them.
There was a Chuck Norris movie I saw that he was a lawman, of course, and his deputy
Texas
was
Ranger.
Flounder. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's Silent Rage. That's my favorite Chuck Norris movie.
With Flounder?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because I remember Flounder getting killed, and he says, "He hurt me real bad." And I'm like, wow, man, Flounder's got versatility.
I'm gonna watch it for next week.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah,
I'll watch Silent Rage, and then we can.
I've been on Charles Bronson Way. Is that in L.A.? I've been on that street.
Well, I can ask my mom if she knows. I don't know.
Maybe I know. I've been on that Charles Bronson Way. And is that Flounder? Yeah.
That's Flounder.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he plays almost the same character as he usually does.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. Those guys were in demand for a minute. He was the fat go-to comedy relief actor. But man, putting him up with Chuck, you're leaving Chuck's blind side wide open.
Yeah.
Chuck's got to kick a few extra heads, make up for that.
You need a stronger left tackle.
He had a big heart till it just exploded on him. Spoiler alert. He gets broken up pretty good. I forget the villain in that, but I remember the Chuck Bronson one was it Telephone, where people would just get a message and then go on a killing thing. I think they spoofed it in Naked Gun with the
like a Manchurian Candidate kind of thing, where they got triggered by a word. And
yeah, telephone, but it's Telefon.
Oh shit!
I went to a movie every fucking week in Coquille. We'd go down to that cinema, and it was just whatever shit was down there. And parents back then, there was no parental discussion about any movie. You just go down there.
We know.
Yeah, and they let you in, and you sit in there.
Dude, there's nothing you need to. You've told us enough about Coquille for us to assume that they're not closely monitoring your movie
selection. The most innocent thing you did was walk straight into an R movie.
Yeah, if I went in home and asked them, hey, I watched this movie, Humanoids from the Deep, at these sea monsters, and they breed everybody, and it's like that. What are your parents gonna say? It's like there's no parental guidance there. You've already seen it. You can't get a sea monster raping people at a seafood festival out of your imagery ever. So the best you can do is just learn to compartmentalize. I've been to a lot of seafood festival, and I've yet to see it be overrun with rapey sea monsters. So I don't have to worry about it, I guess.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that was like a Jaws kind of thing. It seems like there was like a, should we cancel this or not?
Right.
Well, and then, but it seemed like it was just like everything was getting raped. It wasn't just chicks. So it became pretty heavy. Wait a minute. That's not how it's supposed to work. Yeah, is that it, Shaylee?
Yeah, there's a lot of titties in this movie.
Yeah, it was a great one. It was like I've never seen it again, and I can't believe it hasn't. If it was remade, it wasn't remade right, because it should have been a fucking hit. I don't know.
I don't think this one has enough of a story to be redone.
Let's rewrite it.
Yeah, no, they hatch out and they got to get their dick wet. They're like horny sea turtle. Everybody does that sea turtle movie, but instead of running into the ocean for protection, they're getting some pussy first.
Instead of a primal drive to the water, they're just driven to.
But maybe you put Flounder, it's a fish name, and Chuck Norris. And then they kick some ass, because I remember a lot of people just being more, it just went on. I don't know how, I don't remember them kicking ass and the guys leaving to go, let's fuck it, we're out of coke anyway.
Hey, you can watch Humanoids from the Deep, which has a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 55 on Amazon Prime with a subscription.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's it shouldn't be it's the kind of movie that kids shouldn't be seeing. It ruins
clearly, there's
she seems to be,
Andy, so it's at least PG-13.
I'm not trying to victim shame, but does she have a slight smile on her face with that headband on? Looks like she's doing jazzercise, not being raped by her. Oh, that could be. Damn them things. Yeah, but they had traditional penises, but their hands and feet were all webbed.
They were circumcised.
This is the slug line for it. It's Humanoids from the Deep. They're not human, but they hunt human women, not for killing, for mating.
Yeah. At the expense of a very good seafood festival. So maybe they didn't go after dudes. Maybe I envisioned this. Yeah. I should have had it's too bad that my only parental guidance really that stepped up was there for the penis. Nobody took much of an interest.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Stun. Yeah, I think we've gotten some progress today, Doctor.
We worked through some Jeff stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to call him or go see him at some point because he
Call
maybe
him.
yeah. I
I
want to
mean,
go.
that's it.
I want to call him where I'm with another brother, so I can do like, hey, Jeff.
Backup.
Do you remember brother Derek? He's never Skyped me before.
Brother
And here's Jughead. Yeah, he was. I don't know. Yeah, I just I should try to accept and not dislike the guy. That would be a
Well,
step.
I mean, you can just call him and
Point.
be kind and civil and say hey, and see what he does.
You got
It's
anything
kind of
to say to
his
me?
kind of in his court at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any like real hostilities towards him. He just annoys me and he's a bummer.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
just because somebody's if you're a bummer and you're sick, does that make you any less of a bummer to talk to?
No, it does
It's
not.
making it worse. So that's what I had trouble before. Now that's why I want to just, maybe I can just go, hey man, how you doing? And then just kind of walk away, take a hit, eat a Rice Krispies treat, and then go, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Put
what
him
I've
on
heard, man.
speakerphone, dude. Go about your
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always tell him, "Oh, I call waiting. I gotta go."
Yeah.
He's not gonna know.
Yeah. You know what fucked him up though? Was far as like
It's
we got
Larry. Larry's on the other line. I gotta go. See ya.
Jeff and me got along besides him being a poor winner or whatever, and then he got into the Jesus, and then that's when
Yeah.
I it's like
Shame.
and he's still campy with that shit. So I don't know. I mean, we went to Jesus Northwest together, and then we kind of went our separate ways.
It
He went,
sucks.
yeah. I went. I don't know if I really liked it. Mike Warnke. My brother was like buying his records. You know who that? Remember that? He's Mike Warnke's that hacky Christian comic from the day. He was a high priestess. He had some fucking. We talked about him before. He was a real.
Yeah,
He
we
was
talked about him.
Oh, I do remember this.
He's a
now,
hacky
yeah.
comic, but like my brother Jeff.
Yeah.
My brother Jeff at that time, because we just had the Super Bowl, and they used to have Up with People. And you guys remember that? It was like
Yeah.
People.
and my family went and saw that. And my brother Jeff was in band and played trombone, and he thought about joining Up with People. And I was so hoping he would. It's like, oh yeah, I'll
Think
get that.
of how different his and life would be, and your relationship to him would be if he would have joined Up with People in fucking ninth
What was
grade.
that?
That
Just
changes you.
They were like a bunch of like it sort of had cult energy with political positivity and just positive shit.
Well, it would have pulled him away from you while turning him into a theater kid, you know?
Was that
So, yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, it was
like
kind
Fame
of
or
folky, but
something, right? Like
yeah, it was very much the
I want to read
Broadway
about.
show kid thing.
Wonder how that. I'm sure it had an ugly underbelly to it. All these fucking kids running off to fucking pursue some sort of a stupid shit, positive energy, fucking singing and clapping shit. Bicentennial,
Yeah.
I think, had something to do with that shit.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to. Not even people weren't trying. People were just caught up in fucking and campy bullshit and fucking putting stickers on fucking red, white, and blue stickers on your bike, and yeah. But you remember, you guys.
I fucking remember the bicentennial, dude, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I got a bike. It was red, white, and blue, and fucking rode around all fucking patriotic and shit, wanting to be a GI Joe and help people.
Yep.
Oh, it entailed killing them, stealing their shit, killing their
Well,
making YouTube videos out of it.
kind of like America. So you're
Yeah.
celebrating America's birthday. That works pretty well for me.
Uh-huh.
Did you,
Yeah.
Andy? Did you ever wait in line to go see the Freedom Train when that was rolling around?
No.
What?
We didn't get it in Coos
In
Bay.
1976, there was a train, an Amtrak train, that went all around the country, and it had like a copy of the Declaration of Independence, the Liberty Bell, and it was a way to celebrate the bicentennial. And I remember my two parents, my mom and dad, taking us down on my dad's day off, and with 4 kids, standing in a fucking Angel Stadium parking lot on the asphalt for 6 hours to get into, and there's no bottled water, there's no fucking misters. It's you standing on the asphalt to get in this train, right? And it was basically just like 4 or 5 cars. And
to look at paper. Kids love to
was a
look
huge
at
thing.
paper. That's a bummer waiting room to wait for that. I mean, as a kid, you know, you can't appreciate it, but you don't know what these slave owners wrote this up, and it's gonna fuck us up eventually. And yeah, everything was a bicep. Everything was about that shit in 1976. Fucking everybody was on the same page, and that cunt Reagan. Reagan goofed it all up for everybody. We were all in the same.
That was in 1980.
Yeah, 1976. We were all on the same page, and then Reagan fucking was the first divisive, the first one who started fucking. Well, I don't know. They're all been cunts, except for Jimmy. Jimmy Carter still swinging a hammer on fucking bruised hands, and you know I don't know. It's great he's still out there doing it, but god damn it. No.
Freedom Train came right through where I lived. I never saw it.
That routing's crazy. It's like a fucking Hennigan tour with Doug.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Freedom Train. You know, the Army has a like Army Family Entertainment or some group. It's like Up with People, or that's it. All reminds me of that South Park episode, Getting Gay with Kids. They can recruit them out and they go sing Getting Gay with Kids. I don't.
That's probably kind of a spoof of that.
Yeah. But the military has their own whole thing. It's very cultish and weird to go. They used to make us pay $1 to watch it and make us go watch it. That's
the opposite of a Freedom Train.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, fucking Freedom Train missed Coquille. It would have been hijacked and they would have rewritten the Constitution, misspelled everything. Yeah, it's funny how, you know, like that was the feeling that everybody just was it was patriotic. And now that just feels dirty. Patriotic feels like he just went off and got your dick sucked in a glory hole. Like, yeah, I let my guard down, felt a little patriotic. Now I just want to take a shower. Uh-oh, the room walked.
I have an official complaint about my life. About this life.
Mine's getting better.
My new lights all fucked up.
Did you guys ever go see the? Speaking of waiting in line for fucking hours, do you remember when the King Tut exhibition was going around?
I remember the Steve Martin song.
When the song came out, it was because King Tut. There was a tour of America, actually the world, but while it was in America, it was a big thing, and that's when people stand in line just to see him, King Tut. Yeah, and my parents, they fucking did that too. That was downtown L.A., standing in line with 4 kids in the heat of the fucking summer, checking that out.
But you probably remember that way more than the Constitution.
Yeah, way more than the Freedom Train. Yeah.
Actual mummies, and was there a mummy? Yeah, King Tut was there, right?
I don't remember specifically what was there, but I do remember it was a fucking long line, and we were just the whole time.
My dad
it's cooler to look at mummies than it is a bell. I mean, anyone, 10 out of 10.
Well, when my dad was able to pursue his thing, we were driving around getting stamps at things, or going to gem shows, or coin and gem shows, and he collected stamps. So we didn't wait in line. There's no line at the gem show.
No line at the coin shop.
No, we got to pursue the shit that was equally fucking tedious, but it was no waiting.
No waiting.
Yeah. That one day we did the first day stamp cover. tour of every small post office in at least in our several county area that he would go, and each one would stamp an envelope. That was and then he would get in the car and we would map, open a map.
Yeah, there's no GPS.
Figure out the route and drive to another rural post office for another stamp.
What was the goal of that? Just to collect them?
He had them. Yeah, he had them all. I think in one time, he had all of them were in a frame before it got knocked off the wall and broken.
It was hit with a beanbag.
It was just an early version of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Just driving.
I remember
around collecting
he had like powers and remote. Those are towns in Oregon, and places now where there's a lot of Jesus signs up. But back then they just had a small post office, a small store, and that was, I don't know. All it had to have was a post office, so we would drive there, and we did that. And yeah, he collect, and then we'd go to a coin show and sit out in the car while he went around and looked at nickels to try to fill up coin books. It's dumb shit, man. He didn't.
When my mom was a kid, she'd tell me this story that her dad would go, all right, we're gonna go for a drive, and so her mom would get her dressed up, and then they would go sit in the car, and my grandfather, my mom's father, would drive, and they would go straight to the closest bar. He'd go in and drink, and he'd come out and he'd give my mom some popcorn, some cheese popcorn. And then they'd drive to another bar, and he'd come out and he'd get drunk. And he'd come out and he'd give him like this Kutchenreuters was the place. This is Milwaukee. And the beef sandwich is like, hold on. This guy took you guys to so he could drink and drive. And what did you do? Even grandma, she sat in the car. Yeah, I just sat there. And you go, well, we'd talk. And then he'd bring out a sandwich. I go, man, that must have sucked when you had to do that one time. She goes, oh, we did it every weekend. It's like, you kept going in the car?
Is that like a progressive dinner? Like he would get but it was like, progressively drunk.
They were scared to death by the time they hit the last bar because they knew he was drunk and he was driving.
Dessert is cream cheese and liqueur.
But she would rave about the Kutchenreuters roast beef sandwich. I go, that could have been your last meal.
Drunk driving was cool back then, man.
Yeah.
He would get so drunk when he came from Milwaukee. They'd come out in the summer. He'd start hitting the Irish whiskey up in the cabinet. And I never knew about this. I found this out years later. He would start hitting the whiskey, and then I didn't know this, but he would just drive the car in this foreign town that he didn't know how to get around. And he would call and say, I don't know where I'm at. I'm by the train tracks. And then they'd have to figure out where the fuck he was.
Sleeping in the car?
Yeah.
Cars back then too. You could
drink
and drive in those cars. They were fucking. You could smash into a pole and your car wasn't all damaged.
You bounce off things.
Yeah, one of my friends in high school had a car we called the Chief. It was like an old, I don't even know what kind of car, but it was a fucking old school solid automobile, and he fucking smashed that into shit, and we'd fill up the back of the car with beer cans, and it was just like the party mobile, and we'd drink and drive and put it in ditches, and people would help us get it out of ditches, and nobody ever really bad vibed us about it. Like, you guys shouldn't drink and drive. It just really wasn't even on the radar as a bad behavior, really.
So horse.
No. Kids were gonna do it anyway, so just let them do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I could have used some guidance, I guess.
He was begging for it.
Yeah, my driving instructor got all handsy, and I never quite got to the part about should I drive after I've been left and had a few drinks. take the edge off a little bit. I know
Never
weed
got
helps.
to chapter 2 of the driving manual.
No, I know that thigh squeeze could mean a lot of things. Break,
Break. Hard
speed up.
left.
Yeah,
Right turn, Andy.
yeah. Get out and fucking walk.
Yeah. You got to really interpret that thigh squeeze. It could mean anything.
You really want to make the driver nervous, though. It's kind of on him.
Yeah, he was like Tiger Woods' dad, just trying to make me
Wait,
focus.
have we heard about your driving instructor?
It was my last.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. We have. We
I
definitely
thought we were
have.
gonna have a late season
No.
a character reveal.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, Shayla. You weren't alone there.
Lack of character, I say.
You mean
Hey ho,
Crash Bandicoot? We called him?
hands, hey, hands.
Handsy Coot.
Yeah, I thought you was quadriplegic, Mister Hansy. Recovering quadriplegic. Thank you very much. But God healed him and kept my dad dead legged. Go figure.
It's not cool.
No.
Yeah, some reason your that clip that Chris Castles posted 4 or 5 years ago
Huh?
just popped up in my YouTube recommended today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it comes in hot, man, where you're sitting at the table, you know, like laying it down, like, hey, so this is what you did. How do you feel about that? And then whoever's, I think Castles was working the camera, he pulled it back and you can see the wife and the cop and then Doug scraping that chair.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
I hadn't seen that
memorable
since
9 minutes. And I know. Yeah, it never, like the internet's forever because we took it down. But yeah, it does still. I've seen it bounce around a little.
But I was when talking to him, I was kind of having some empathy for you because I'm like, that has got to be hard to like all the things you want to say, and then all of a sudden now you're in front of the guy and you want to come across, you want your point. You don't want to seem babbly and
Right.
like run the light with it. You want to get to it and say, hey, and I think you did a good job at that.
I could. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's like a comedy performance. You go, oh, I should have said, oh, but just that I could even, it just happens, even though it was plotted and stuff, and it just all fell in. So it just seemed like it was in the middle of a weird dream or whatever.
It's got to be really different when you're actually sitting there across the table from him, looking at him. You've practiced this.
When I thought
you've run through the questions and the statements that you're going to use a million times, but when you're actually looking into this asshole's face,
and how
then, sometimes it's like
I visualize it like I would get him on, and then he would sit down and then go, I'm going to tape this like Nixon Frost. That's what I thought it'd be like. The pitch was it's like Nixon Frost with gay undertones. But that it's like I thought we could just have a conversation and I could ask him all those questions like but then it was just like he came hidden camera, he's brought a law enforcement and I'm a little buzzed. Doug's running the show and it was just Gonzo style, jump down and start in on it, but it was equally effective as sitting down and interviewing him and having to iron it out and him wanting to shake my hand and then saying nah, I don't think so. I think I felt those hands. I think I felt those hands enough on my body to last a lifetime, sir, but you can buy me a car and we'll go go test drive a few and then have lunch at Sizzler, but it just didn't work out that way. It was it went from there to tears to the police talking to us and then eventually cease and desist and all that bullshit.
It's amazing how much protection the molester gets when confronted with his horrible crimes. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, let's make sure we don't offend this guy. Let's make sure he's taken care of.
Well, I mean, if they don't know, I mean, he's someone who has rights until something comes out. Apparently
Sure,
he
but
just
you're
never
just
got caught.
you're not doing anything to him. You're just talking to him. You're just telling him what he did. Your words aren't
Right, and
physically causing the man any harm. They
I mean,
just
no one
hurt
stopped
because
Andy
he
from saying what he wanted to say.
and the,
right. But that's what I'm saying. Their cops were already there. A cease and desist with like a cease and desist based on what? The
well, that
truth.
well,
Like
no,
that
that
was
was
shouldn't
later.
be able.
the cease and desist was about showing
I'm
it.
saying, like, there's a lot of protections built into the system for the molester, for the
Right.
abuser.
Well, and it's like it's like as a kid, I didn't hold on to movie tickets I didn't hold on to anything,
Evidence,
letters from
physical
him or
evidence.
anything. I
Yeah,
didn't, I don't
you
have a
can't
shoebox with
emotional
all my
scars
letters,
into.
neatly organized by month. Fifth grade year, and
Yeah, and the cop that was there was brought by the fucking molester.
yeah, he brought him.
So
That's
he
what
brought.
I'm
He brought it.
saying.
Yeah.
But
Well, no,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
here's the thing: is
hold
on.
on, Edson. The molester didn't tell the cop, "Look, I molested this kid. I need you there as backup." He said, "I think something fishy's happening here. These guys are going to try and scam me or something."
Right. Yeah. I wonder what he did say, but yeah, and then but kind of his only defense in the whole thing, which he does, I didn't have any proof or anything. It was my word against his. I didn't save receipts or anything, but it's like as a dude, why, it's like really why would I want to like put myself through this to acknowledge
Right.
the
Why else?
weirdness of the relationship just because I want to burn this guy because I didn't like the way he shoveled his snow into my yard.
Right. Look, it's like when you see they found some guy who used to be a Nazi guard, and he's living in fucking Youngstown, Ohio or whatever. And it's like, and he's like, it wasn't me. I didn't do that. I don't know what you're talking about. But would it, these people are going, it doesn't do these people who are accusing him any good. There's no advantage for you, Andy, to accuse this guy to travel across the country to do all of
what's
this.
the motivation?
And then in typical, I had to bring up the car because he promised he was buying me a car, and then he never did.
Weird.
And as he even, 2 or 3 years had passed since I'd even been down there, and then he did sell my dad that car in the interim. But it was like I still like he's buying me a car when I graduate. I'm keeping my mouth shut on that stuff, and then I never got the car. So all those years later, if I would have just said, all the other stuff and left it at that, but I had to ask him about you owe me a car, and then that they tried to say I was trying to extort him. But but you did owe me a car. If I'd have left that out of the whole thing and just said you fucking jerked me off, you try to suck my dick, wake a guy up, let him know you're gonna be, offer, hey, can I suck your dick? And if he's, may I, use your words or whatever. And then
and I'm
your
sure
words with adults, not kids or whatever. What, Chad?
I was gonna say too. I'm sure like the lawyer can say as well. You owe me a car. You weren't trying to extort him. You were pointing out that you basically bribed me to keep me quiet about this. Is what I was trying to say. But I said in my.
And that's what
well,
that's how it
happened.
Yeah, that's how that's but from their angle, it's like I'm
that's
trying to get a car.
That's it. Because here's the thing. You make this plan in your head. You're going to film this whole thing. You've got Stanhope with you. So you think of a couple of fucking zingers you're going to use on. And one of them is, hey, you at least owe me a fucking car, asshole. So then when you do the bit, it sounds like you're extorting the guy. But really, it's like you're going through a lot of emotions. You're running through a lot of things. The one thing that sticks in your head is, oh, yeah, I fucking hit him with the car thing.
I had a set list.
And then they're like, oh, see?
Yeah, I had my diploma with me, so that reminded me of what I was, I was like, remember when you said I was like, I remember when you said you were going to buy me a car and then I slid my diploma across to him. And I don't know what ever happened to it. I've looked for my high school diploma since then, and I never, I hope he didn't end up with it.
He's got it as a trophy.
I don't know. I'll have to review that.
He thinks it's even hotter that you almost caught.
Yeah. So, but that's what I slid that across, and then that's kind of when he took off. But and then I was like, well, I guess I ain't getting that car, because I was thinking, should I just get a one-way out to Florida? because I'll probably want to drive that new car back.
Yeah,
But it didn't work out that way. He was equally difficult to deal with as a older gentleman than he was as a older gentleman.
What if you did a wacky sitcom where you had to be his caretaker and then you got to abuse him back because of some crazy judge decision that, this is how you're going to make it fair?
Yeah, I get his property, but he gets to live on it till he dies, and I can't kill him.
Yeah, right. Dun, 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 dun.
And then the local sheriff is already suspicious of you because your nosy downstairs neighbor is always butting in. I think something's happening up there.
I'm always digging holes in the backyard.
All those nooses in the tree.
Get 3 nooses, yeah.
Well, yeah.
You put the new in nooses.
Well, I'm sure there's some. There's got to be somebody who's done that, has gone back to revisit him in a nursing home. I thought about that one for sure. Now he's gloating over a victory, just like Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. Go over the stats.
What's your percentage there, Reggie?
Fuck.
I'm sober tonight. I think everybody's pretty much not drinking, huh? I had one beer.
This is my one beer.
Oh.
This is shit. Hennigan left, so.
Did you go back to Vegas?
Yeah, he's gone. I'm back in Studio C again.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was really cramping my style for a while there. I was here for a whole week.
Yeah. I still like the upstairs, but I can't do it. The guy's there. He never leaves.
Yeah, I was telling someone about that today. How much longer is that guy there?
Another month.
Wow.
He left in a
Righteous
week.
bucks, dude. That's good.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's perfect because, I mean.
Does he get a free Nature Jack shirt when he leaves?
I don't. Well, I could give him one of the ones I use for photos.
Scratch and dent.
Yeah, I don't want to cut into my.
Hey, Erickson, we should use some Patreon money to rent Andy's fucking own space for him.
For him.
How much would it cost?
He can stretch out on.
Get it,
Yeah.
and then he can use it. We need to rent.
Yeah. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Revisit it in the but yeah, one more month and then I'm gonna keep. Well, it depends because we'll have to decide on the COVID rule or whatever, which I kind of feel like it's just let me live there.
Yeah. Maybe you can get some sort of discount.
Yeah, military. I'm a vet.
You're a vet.
I'm
handicapped. If we get like a whole 6 months or something, maybe we can get a discount for that too.
Let's just get drugs and go party.
There's that part too.
Yeah.
The best laid plan.
Yeah. You can overplan the future. I'm just looking forward to moving. Are you booking up in Alaska? I mean, Erickson, did you
They're
book work?
starting to do shows at Coots. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, they're starting to schedule shows at Coots for the summer.
I saw you said you were booked up there in June.
Yeah, I'm going up there in June.
Nice. So you'll be doing comedy again.
Maybe. I mean, hopefully.
Yeah. That's why you're booked.
That's why I'm going there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Hopefully, there'll be shows by then.
But aren't you booking the room with comics from?
Sort of. I'm helping.
Yeah, I suggested you because you know more comics that are willing to travel. Well, I hope they're willing to travel. Maybe I gave them the wrong guy's name.
No,
LA comics don't always want to
that
leave.
is. I don't know where this conversation is going. Are we all trying to get Andy booked on at
No,
Coots?
No, I wanted to.
No,
like,
I
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I know they had to push back a date that I booked for Sam Tripoli, and then I said, "Hey, if you
Oh,
want to
you
keep booking more
Tripoli up there
comics."
already?
No, yeah, he's been up there twice before, but we had a booking for I think late February, early March that they had to push back because of COVID.
I love Sam. He's on fucking social media with his twin daughters that he claims to have named Ghost and Ninja.
Yeah.
I
After the window
fucking
smashing
love
shit.
that. I love that
That's
so much.
hilarious.
I fucking love Sam. He's batshit crazy, but I love the man.
Yeah. What's the
He's
beating
like
the
fun QAnon, like he's a QAnon guy, but he does it in a hilarious, funny way. It's less scary somehow. I don't know what it is.
I haven't seen him on the Twitter for quite a while. It's like he wasn't on there for a while, and now he's bounced back in. Is that
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see them that much either, I guess, really. But just in person and on stage, he cracks me up.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah,
funny as fuck.
where'd we run into him, Shaylee? Out in New York?
That was in it was New York, and we were at the
In Syracuse.
Albany,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
not Albany, Syracuse. Yeah,
see. I knew it. I know
Syracuse Funny
everywhere.
Bone.
Sam Tripoli and you guys are. Yeah, but yeah, I'll be in at Coots in June. They're doing 3-night runs up there. So
Well, Mr.
Okay,
Boobs
check
will
us
be
out.
happy to have some company.
But
So yeah, cool. I'm glad they're doing shit.
we'll get
I
you
mean-
up there, dude.
Yeah. Comedy. Yeah, I'll it's
We'll get up there. We'll set up. We'll see how this goes. I want to get up there and see. I mean, everything's tentative, and everything's weird because everything's coming back. But I'd like to get up there and do an Issues with Andy podcast. So that's what I'll be working on.
yeah.
Maybe we could make that happen. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I do
Comedy.
have credit still with the airlines from the flight I booked to go to California. So
It doesn't expire I suppose not now with pandemic.
I think
the
they
airlines are
said
pretty
2
cool,
years
man.
or something. It was
Yeah.
Delta.
Yeah, I'll
I
bet
think it's
airline
like 2
shit
years.
is easier. Right now, comedy feels like when I played football and they would do the daily double practices, and you'd go back for the second one.
Twofers?
You didn't feel like you could
Yeah.
even fucking do it. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, and then they'd blow a whistle, and you just have
No
to
drinking
start
water?
running. Yeah, you just start running, and then eventually you're done with practice, and it's like, it just seems like
Yeah.
such a foreign concept to do comedy at this thing, but fuck, it's going strong in Texas.
Yeah.
Texas is
Yeah.
ahead of the curve. They came up with Ted Cruz,
Mhm.
Texas knows what's going on.
I think we could do comedy outside in the summer. I don't think that being outside is that risky, honestly. It seems to me that it's indoors that that a virus is gonna cling to things and hang around and be breathed in by you, and that if you're just generally there's enough air movement outside that you can
Well, at this point,
lower
we've been
the
through
risk
everything.
substantially. You might not be able to make the risk zero, but it's substantially lower than being indoors in a bar. So, there should be outdoor shit by this summer too.
There's a shitty Denny's up the road from me, and they've got a big tent out there for people to eat breakfast in. Like a couple
Outside
of
at the tent?
Yeah, and a big fucking
Yeah, it's got to be outside.
I'm like, wow, there's a fucking pretty cool comedy room right there. Hey,
They
Denny's,
set
Yeah,
up
rent it
tables
out.
they set up their tables outside at the IHOP on Santa Monica Boulevard. It's like I just can't imagine, you're going to go out to eat and
That's
you're finally
commit-
going to eat at
Yeah.
a place and you end up sitting in the parking lot of the IHOP right next to busy Santa Monica Boulevard with cars and soot
choked with
and
traffic.
dirt and shit flying. You're trying to eat pancakes and it's loud and it's IHOP anyway. Like, who is the person
that's commitment to a bit, right? On both ends.
Jesus.
You know, we're gonna eat breakfast, and then they're like, we don't really even serve breakfast, but we're gonna let them.
That's not desperate, man.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Some people just need to get out and eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the sad thing is the people who just need to go out and sit together and eat. So, like,
Not to mention a population density like LA, there's always going to be people that'll be, I don't fucking care, I want to eat somewhere, and then they'll just go in anyway.
Right.
Millions of people out there.
And really, there's so many. You can't stay locked down forever, and there's so many people in this city that you can't get that far away from everybody all the time. There's just too many fucking people here. So, you know, that's it.
We love it. I love LA. I'd like to go back and do the show we had planned, not the one with Inman, but when we're going to do the patio. We talked about it before Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, we'll see what happens when it. I mean, shit's got to open up sometime.
Just invite the governor.
So.
He can hang out with us, and then it'll be okay.
He might do it at this point. He doesn't have very much other support. It might come down to him taking calls from anyone who likes him. Oh, shit. All right. I feel like that's a podcast.
Yeah, we're all dragging from the Super Bowl festivities.
Super Bowl, yeah.
Let's face it.
All right,
we're playing dinged up a little bit tonight.
Dirty uniforms. Grass stains on our uniforms.
Getting a little chippy. Oh, it's getting chippy out there. You hate to see that.
He didn't even reach for that pass. He just let it sail right past his head.
Now there's a fat guy down on the field.
I love that. I love the line this morning about the guy that streaked out on the field with a singlet on or whatever. It's like the streaker hit the end zone before the Chiefs did.
Man, brutal.
Yeah, and then, I mean, with such an empty stadium, it's like, man, he was really like, I got to do this. He must be like, he must have done it for some specific attention. I know that's silly. Of course he did.
To promote his podcast.
Florida.
Yeah. He's our issues with Andy guy, stooge. Man on the turf stoogery.
Yeah, quick. Somebody Photoshop an issues with Andy T-shirt on that guy's fucking singlet or something, and say we paid him. Yeah, it was.
Maybe that's what we should start selling. Singlets.
It's not really a singlet. It's more like a mankini type thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanhope would get. I'm sure. Well, he was probably in the shrooms by that point, but he would have been critical that he didn't pull his pants down.
He did at one point.
Yeah, but
one of the guards grabbed him right before he juked and did that spin.
He was trying to drop out of him, and he got. I like that attempted tackle by the big man there at the 50. Yeah. That, you know,
this is Andy. This is what I think happened because here he is right here. I think that guy's plan was to not go out with the black shorts, but he jumped out at the end.
Yeah,
because that is that's a thong in the back.
Right,
and
right.
The twig, the twig and berries are definitely dangling, cut in half by that floss there. So I think the plan was to go out. And
he's not even.
He just
he's
got
a typical
cold feet.
Florida guy. Look at that guy. You know, he's a fucking idiot at South Beach.
Yeah.
Is he repping some sort of?
Yeah.
There's something censored. Vitality censored.
Oh.
Yeah, it's probably a vitamin.
Issues with Andy.
Yeah, it should have been us. We missed it, guys.
So that's the picture right there. You could totally do it off that. Here's the one where you can get an idea of what it looked like. Yeah, that's not pretty. That's not. Yeah, you don't want to close up on that one.
Wouldn't it just be your luck to be working security at the Super Bowl, and then you got to chase some streaker across the field, and you have to tackle him, and you tackle him, and then you roll over, and he gets his dick like accidentally in your mouth as you're trying to tackle him, and the whole fucking
Whoa.
The guy who finally
is watching, you know. But I mean, that's what you got to tackle a dude with his dick out, you know.
The
Could
guy
be the
who,
worst case scenario.
The guy who hits him in the end zone, right before the end zone, is targeting. Like he leads with his head on the. If it was a football play, he would have been called for targeting, as he totally just went in to smash him down with his head. Like fuck, man, some badass security that's going to lead with his head on that situation.
So Vitality Uncensored.
On his back?
Vitality Uncensored is a thing.
Oh yeah.
Here's a gal during a Champions League game where she was a streaker out on that, and Vitality. I'm looking it up right now.
She would have killed.
Vitally Uncensored.
Been better.
Yeah, maybe they stick with the ladies. I think she didn't get. And hey, where's the guy throwing down the head tackle on her?
Yeah, she sure didn't.
They're hugging her on the way out.
Okay, so Vitally Uncensored is a porn site. So there we go.
Of course.
Oh man. Yeah. So that dude was totally fucking in it for the thrill.
Yeah, our man is on the website as the VIP, the MVP for the Super Bowl.
They won a contest. They had a contest, and the winner got to run onto the field during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They just didn't tell the guy it was.
I hope.
Oh, here you got to wear this.
I hope he turns up in the Capitol.
Hold up my
footage.
hair. What is this thing? He goes, no, this is your bikini.
Yeah, they could photo shoot that guy in any Capitol scene riot photo. He'd look right at home.
Absolutely. The picture looks photoshopped. The shorts and the long bikini and look like they're really on them.
Don't start new conspiracies.
No.
We've got a place to start next week.
Yeah, there'll be all kinds of shit next week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hope Silent Rage is on something that streams.
Yeah. We'll
no, it's on Prime. I'm going to watch it right now.
That was Humanoids from the Deep.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
It was on Prime.
So many movies we review on this
Let's
channel.
find them both.
Silent Rage is on Tubi. The free app, Tubi.
Yeah, you can get that on Roku, and like Tubi is just
Apple
another one of those.
It's free. All right.
Yeah, it's
new sponsor. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Tubi.
Chuck
for sponsoring us.
TUBI.
So, all right, let's get out of here. Thanks, you guys. Love you guys. Thanks for out there, subscribers. And we'll do another board meeting pretty soon, I'm sure. And we'll have more good stuff coming your way. We love you.
Yeah.
That's it. We've got we got to crunch the numbers. So we'll see you.